In order to better understand our customers, we've spent time with middle-aged singles and couples, those who are between 30 and 45 and don't have kids. This life stage tended to be a little bit more settled than the younger audience as they move further into their careers and take on additional responsibilities that come with age.
My workday starts at 6 o'clock in the morning. I go to the gym for a couple of hours and then I go to work, and I usually get home about 6 p.m.
I have good career satisfaction. I've been in the same career for 12, 15 years. I know what I'm doing, I do it well.
We've recently invested in an apartment, and that's cost a little bit more than we thought. So money's a little bit tight, and we need to be careful as next couple of years we're going to be starting a family.
These customers were particularly engaged when it came to food and meals. They feel they don't have to compromise their own tastes and preferences as much as their similarly aged peers who have young families.
At this stage of my life, food is really important and not something to be compromised on. I'm really fortunate that my partner and I both love all food pretty much. We've got a couple of little intolerances to things, but we can work around that. Aside from that, we can just eat whatever we want.
We like to spend time in the kitchen, cook together, eat good food, fresh food, and yeah, we like it.
Yeah, we don't watch much TV, so we like to spend most of our time together in the kitchen, cooking, talking about food, talking about wine, matching food and wine.
Dinner is quite important to us because it's the only time that we spend together during the week.
Meal planning tended to be fairly spontaneous, and many were subscribing to meal kits such as HelloFresh and relying on takeaways when work life becomes more demanding.
We subscribe to HelloFresh. I'm a bit more of an adventurous cook than my partner. He loves just being able to follow the instructions when he gets home from work, which is earlier than me, which is great because I come home to work and dinner's made. So he's really loving cooking because it's pretty fail-safe, and we know how much we're spending on food each week. It kind of portions the meals out as well. We're not overcooking and then overeating.
Sometimes at the end of a long week, particularly if I've had a hard week and long hours, I just couldn't be bothered cooking, even though we love cooking and talking about food. Sometimes it's easier just to call in Uber Eats, right?
Yeah.
These customers put emphasis on bringing new, different foods into their routines. They look for value at supermarkets, but aren't as attuned to price as some of their other mainstream segments. They're willing to pay more for products that fit into and enable their busy, fluid lifestyles.
We go shopping at Woolworths and Coles, and for different premium items we go to David Jones.
Yeah, mostly for cheese, kind of boutique special items that we can't get at Coles and Woolies.
In some Woolworths, the bigger ones, the deli counters a really great option if I need to buy very specific amounts of meat for a recipe. So if I need, 2 chicken thighs, for instance, I can just get 2 chicken thighs over the counter rather than having to buy a plastic pack.
When I go shopping, I automatically go to Woolworths. But then you always tell me to go to Coles because you think that the choice of fruit and vegetables, the bakery goods, the bread, and the meat is better than Woolworths. Yeah, it's true, right?
Yeah.
Middle-aged singles and couples are more attuned to the quality of our product than they are to our customer service.
What's more important to me is a good product. I am really, in my opinion, I prefer a really high quality product. I like the macro range, which I think is a really high quality product. So for me, the service isn't so important. It's more about the product for me.
Thankfully, there's a Woolies right on my way home from work. I've usually been listening to a podcast or some music on my way home, so I don't need to take my earphones out. I can just look at my little list that I've put together on my phone, walk through, go through the self-checkout when I'm done, and I don't have to talk to anyone.
I think the Coles and Woolies tend to be more good for families, have massive shopping trolleys, have the time to walk through these giant supermarkets, which we often don't have.
Spending time with middle-aged singles and couples, we've learned that they're engaged in food and meals, they don't have to compromise their tastes, meal delivery kits and takeaways are being relied on, they're willing to pay more for products that fit their busy lifestyles, and they're more attuned to product quality than customer service.